Hey guys, how's it going? Previously on the channel, we were working on this 1911 Farris Banks-Morse. It's a throttle governed engine, but I've been calling it a hit-and-miss engine. I'm not sure what exactly to call it at this point. Done some work to this thing off camera, not really a whole lot, just going through some things and cleaning things up. Had the ultrasonic cleaner running most of the time that I was doing this stuff, so it was really pointless to pull the camera out and film. You guys wouldn't have been able to hear anything and it'd have been time-lapsed. Did some things with it and messing with it. I got the carb put back together. I got all my gaskets for it, as you can see. Here's the head gasket for the crankcase, head gasket. I'm going to be reusing this head gasket. I don't quite trust this one. This one seems like too thin of a material and papery. This one over here seems a lot thicker than that one, a lot more stable. And I'm also noticing the holes. I'm thinking that might add structure to it. So I think I'm gonna leave that one alone. This one flaps around a little bit and just doesn't seem all that great to me. Carb's all put back together. As you can see, it's got 2 new gaskets in it. I got into the engine a little further. I got the breather assembly taken out of it, and I cleaned up all the bolts and everything too. Come over here, this guy right here. As you can see, here's the bolts from the engine. Here's the breather assembly. Right there is the valve assembly. This right here is what this rode on inside of here, and that's what made this move, moving the exhaust valve. Spring, intake valve, exhaust valve. This one's the only one that I really see that has problems. I'm starting to wonder if this intake valve has been replaced at one point in time. I seriously doubt it, but you never know. So there's that stuff right there. And then we come around to over here. Here's the head. This is the cylinder head for the engine. It doesn't look too bad. I spent some time cleaning it up. I cleaned up the valve surfaces and seats. It looks pretty good. I also went through it and cleaned out the water jacket last night. Took it in the house and scrubbed at it with a toothbrush. And got pretty much everything out of it. Water flows through it now and water comes out of it nice and clean. So I guess I'm going to go on ahead and call that a win. So what I want to do today, I can't get through there, is the plan is to have this engine back together and running possibly by the end of the video, which I seriously doubt that's going to happen, but you never know. A friend of mine, well, Water Level Productions, also known as Jack, has my magneto for this engine currently, so I still don't have a magneto. Plan is, we are going to be taking this engine over to his house. He's got a little more knowledge than I do on this engine. I've got some pretty good knowledge on these engines. Well, not these engines, but on engines in general when it comes to putting them back together and everything. He's got a hit and miss himself. He's got better tools and things to go through and clean out the water jacket and other stuff. And there's some other things he wants to check on it, like the bearings. So I told him I'd bring it over there because I want to show it to him anyway. He wants to see the engine, so I thought, why not take it over there and show it to him? So that's the plan. I want to wash out that water jacket and clean it out. So that's going to be one thing that we're going to do today. And more than likely, I'm going to be pulling this engine off of this cart. I want to pull that gas tank and I want to look at that and see how it looks inside. I might fill that up with water and then pull that port out in the front, the drain, and see what the water looks like as it drains out. If it looks rough, maybe what we could do is just hook it up to the tractor and dump some gravel in there and just drive around a little bit. Maybe that would clean that out. I seriously doubt it. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence as to what I want to do with that tank right now. It's the original tank and I do plan to use it, but I don't know if I just want to put gas in it and see what happens or do the right thing and just take it out of there and clean it out, which, give me a second. My bad. It'd be pretty rough to get that engine off there, though, I'm thinking. Because as I look at it, I see these right here. I don't know if these go all the way through the wood and there's bolt heads on the bottom. I don't feel anything under there. I think those just thread into the wood. then you take these and loosen them out, but I'm not sure. Take that off though. I would think this engine should just lift up off of this cart, but again, I'm not completely sure. So there you go. So that's what we're going to do. I also think I want to spray that down real good and just try to clean some of the oil residue off of this cart. I would like to fix this thing up and clean it up and make it look nice. That is the plan. I do want to repaint that engine at some point in time. I just want to make sure it runs right now and I can get it into a condition where I can run it. That's kind of the big thing right now, is just seeing if we can get it running. So that's pretty much where I'm at. You guys are up to speed on what I'm doing and where I'm at. So let's go ahead and let's take this outside. I'm going to bring the 140 in, hook it up, we'll drag it out, and we'll see about getting that cleaned out. So yeah, here we go. So unfortunately, I think this tank leaks. I went in and grabbed it. It's leaking. It looks like it's leaking from off to the side over here, but now it looks like the water has slowed down a lot, but it's still coming out of it. So I wonder if it's just dirt and stuff that's gone over there. Stop it up. I guess we're about to find out. If ever. Once I pop this out of here. Ready? That water looks pretty clean. It actually looks really good. Huh. So we'll see what drains out of it. It's not all full of rust. It looks really clean. You know, I was expecting it to be a lot worse. That holds a lot of water. That's a big tank, man. That holds a lot of fuel. And now it looks like it's leaking has slowed down. To a point now where it's non-existent. So, I don't know where... Oh, shit. I don't want that leaking in there. That might explain everything. This up here is mostly dry. There's no water up here anymore. Yeah, I don't see it leaking over here anymore. It could have been from that hose sitting up there and it pulling up right here. At least that's what I'm hoping it was from. We'll give it another shot for sure. Maybe this time we'll figure out that tank doesn't leak. We'd be very lucky. So let's fill this up. I don't see any water. Oh, I see a little bit. I think that's just it leaking from up here. Can I plug that hole off and make it stop? Yeah, see right there, it's a constant drip. It's got a leak. So more than likely we're gonna have to pull that gas tank out anyway and figure out where it's leaking at. I don't know if you see that or not. But see that's just a constant leak. It slowed down a lot. I don't know where it's coming from. Well, now I don't feel anything over here. Now it feels dry. Huh. Okay. It's fine over here. It might just... I'm starting to wonder if it's just the water sitting up here on top of the tank, causing it to do that, making me think it's leaking. Let's just do that and let's see what it does. Did that make it stop? It's still dripping. That might even be loose. I think we'd be better off just to pull that tank and find out. I think that's going to be our next step. Is to just go on ahead and pull this tank and see if it's leaking or not. So I'm going to let that drain out, then we'll take it back over to the shop. I think we've got it pretty well cleaned out. So let's see about loosening this engine up off of this cradle. It shouldn't be too hard. I want to say 5/8. I was going to say that's what they looked like. They look like 5/8. I see that it's not spinning in the wood, so that's good. Maybe it's just the bolt or the nut on here that turns. That's a good thing. So we'll get these loosened up. Hopefully all of them come loose just about that easy. And we'll see about getting this engine lifted off of here. And once this engine comes up off this table, let me just get this thing off of here and then we'll bring you back. So I'm currently working on getting this off of here, and I figured that I would show you guys wanting to see. I don't know. I got all the bolts off in the front. I'm working on the back. I had to undo this and this. That way I could get the access to the bolt down here on bottom because it was spinning. 3 out of 4 did it. So I just went ahead and loosened the cart and got them out this way. So this is where I'm at. I'm on the last one right now, just getting it loosened up. So once I get these out of here, we can go on ahead and get the engine up off. I'm thinking about separating this cart and cleaning it up, sanding it down, and coating it with some motor oil. I'm also just debating on seeing how heavy this engine is off of the cart. If it's not heavy while it's off of the cart, I might just leave it off the cart for a while. That way I can move it around easier for the time being. Just leave it off the cart and clean the cart up real well and make it look better. And then I don't know, maybe paint up the wheels. Paint the wheels up and all the metal. I don't think that these were supposed to be any sort of color. I don't think the wheels were either. I think everything on this would just be black. At least that's what I'm gonna guess. I don't know. I don't know what color they made the rolling carts. So all the nuts are out. I'm just gonna leave the bolts alone. Let's see if we can get this up off of here. How easy this will be. Ready? Comes loose. There we go. I gotta find a spot to pick up on it. Move the camera back some so you can see. There you go. Let's see about getting this up off of here. Ready? There we go. There we go. Let go. Let go. There we go. Let's see. Let's hop on the side over here. There we go. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to run that off the cart. Those flowers are big. That's heavy. So there we go. There is our cart. What is the problem here? Oh, I see this bolt up here at the front. There we go. So I guess now we just got to go on ahead and clean that up and go from there. Got that put back together so it'll hold itself up. I want to go ahead and take that fuel tank out. And after I take that fuel tank out, I want to see how, I guess, things look. That came loose pretty easy. I'm thinking more than likely we're going to have to replace this tank, which it wasn't too bad to get to. I'm going to more than likely have to use the forklift when I pick that engine back up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to set that back on there or not. I did clean the threads up for the... so we should be able to put the threads back on and thread the engine down nicely. Let's take a look at the bottom of this. Sure, that was leaking. Yeah, it looks fine. I don't see... Oh, look at that. You know what I'll bet? Oh. Yeah, I see where it was leaking from up here. So there's a hole right there. tank seems kind of rough. So I may not be able to use that tank. I don't know. It seems pretty rough. It's got a lot of holes in it. The bottom looks okay, but there's where the mounts are, there's holes. So it might just have to be replaced. I don't know. So I guess we'll have to see. So let's see about cleaning this card up. Maybe we can get it to look better. So let's see about cleaning this up. Maybe we can get this looking nice. This is some simple green. Just spray it down and see if we can get this wood to clean up. If I can, I would like to. I want to say this has probably been, this is about 70 years or 100 years worth of grime. You know, probably there since the engine was new. I keep forgetting how old this engine actually is. It's crazy to me that that's 100 years old. 111 years old. If you're careful, you should be able to get it with this. I think one thing I'm gonna do is run a couple lag bolts into this just to try and help secure it a little bit. It seems all right, but I definitely think that it could use some extra support, you know. Just trying to get as much of this off. And you can see where the wood's been covered up, how nice it looks right there. That was covered up by the what's it called? The fuel tank. So that right there looks really good. See how that cleans it up? That makes it look really nice. So if I can save this card, I will. And actually, it looks to be cleaning up pretty good. I might need to move that engine. Huh, well, I'll say this, if it doesn't scratch up that wood, and you're careful, that actually might clean it up. That looks actually really, really good. Wow, that's cleaning up nice. So we'll do this side, then we'll compare it to that side. Just remember, that side I've not done a whole lot to. Come on, give me some more. Oh well. So there we go. I need more. There we go. Let's try it with this method again. But yeah, that actually cleaned up really well. I'm really impressed. And I can already guarantee someone is having a massive fit right now about me doing that. But you know, it's actually looking like it's doing pretty good. And as long as you keep it lubed up and you don't scratch that wood, it looks pretty good. likely though, I'm gonna end up sanding this down anyway. So I mean, it really won't matter. Sand it down and make it look real good. But yeah, wow. That improved the looks of it a lot. I will say that. I'm sure y'all want to look. We want to look, we want to look. Let's get a look, shall we? Wow, man, look at that. That looks really good. So I guess that's what I'm gonna do on the rest of it. Just try to clean it up the best I can and pull the grain back out of it. But wow, that's what it looked like before compared to that. So I guess here's an update on this engine. I've been doing some things off camera, not really a whole lot, just getting into it and doing some little things. This right here is the cart for the engine. I've started slowly pulling it apart and just looking at it. Here's a piece of wood over here that I've been experimenting with and seeing how I can clean it up. I've started messing with it. It actually cleaned up pretty well. So now you're probably wondering, where's the engine at? The engine is currently back here, sitting on the pallet jack. I have it up off the ground for anybody wondering, so that way it doesn't get any mice or anything going into it. I'm going to be covering it up. That's the plan. So that guy should be all right and kept away from everything. So I guess this video has turned into, let's fix this cart up and make it nice again. So I guess that's what we're going to do. I'm kind of thinking about how I want to go about it. I'm thinking about stripping it down as far as I can. I'm going to leave that base all more than likely one piece. I might separate it at the boards right there. And I'm also thinking about running lag bolts down through. There's 4 holes in the pieces. There's 2 holes in that board and 2 holes in that board. I'm thinking about running lag bolts down through those holes on there and on there into this piece, and hopefully that will hold these two together and keep them from wobbling apart. Because I noticed while I was moving around on it earlier, that wobbles pretty bad. So I think that's going to be the next move, and that's what I'm planning on doing, hopefully. Now, I'm guessing the reason why it wobbles so bad right now is because that engine's not sitting there and also the gas tank's out of it. So there's not really anything holding that to it at the moment. But even with the engine in there, it would probably shake around a little bit, not too much. So there you go. That's currently where we're at with this guy. fix like that, it should be pretty simple. And then after I get the rest of the car apart, I'll bring you guys back and we'll get into it from there. So I guess I'll consider this a progress update. I have been just kind of trying to get things done, so I haven't really been pulling the camera out and filming that, and I've been listening to stuff on the phone. And I had some friends I was talking to quite a bit in the process of working on this thing, so I do apologize for the lack of footage. I don't know why that does that. Lack of footage on this. However, this is currently where I'm at right now, so bear with me. I got to get a camera so that way I can use my phone and I can set up a camera somewhere and let it film while I use my phone and listen to stuff on it and talk to people on it and whatever while I'm time-lapsed. So there you go. So here's a progress update. Everything for the most part for this engine has been painted. I got the wheels all done and took care of. I got these over here drying right now. I've just finished painting the other side of them. Those over there are done and dry, and they're sitting on blocks. That way they can get some air underneath them. And then those over there, that the bottom of them touch the wood, is what is touching the towel. I'm not too worried about that section. But come over here. Here is the wood. This is the cradle or the cart for the engine. As you can see, this right here. I've cleaned it up. I think these look really good. I think I'm going to leave them alone. I might do a little bit of sanding on them, and I might go on ahead and coat them with some motor oil is what I'm thinking the next step's going to be. But again, I'm not too sure. Then we come over here to the main section of the cart. There it is. I've cleaned it up. Like I said, I got all the stuff off of it. I sprayed it down with some purple power and went after it with a wire brush and also some putty knives. This is kind of my setup right here, as you can see. So there you go. Yes, that is for a grill. And then let's just take a look at the mesh, shall we, of what this made all over my table. That little engine's going to be going to the scrap heap here soon, but that poor thing's all covered in shit. So there you go. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. I want to thank all you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If it's your first time checking out the channel, please consider going down below, hitting that subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Tells YouTube that you guys like the videos and want to see more. It also tells me the same thing. I really enjoy making these for you guys. I've enjoyed working on this project so far. Currently, the next thing that I'm going to do is I got to take it over there to Jack's, and we got to get the magneto took care of, and we got to take the other stuff up there and get that took care of. We're going to put he wants to look at the bearings and other stuff. He's got more tools than I do for this kind of stuff, and he's got more knowledge on these older engines than I do. So I'm going to let him look at it on here and see what he thinks of it. I think from what I can see, everything on here is pretty good, so it should be a good running engine for the most part, in my opinion. And I remember it having compression before I took it apart, so it should, hopefully, in theory, still have compression when I go to put it back together. So there you go. So more than likely, the next video that you guys see on this engine, it's going to be over there at his house. It's not going to be here, so there you go. All right, guys, with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. And I guess I will catch all of you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.